Good evening everyone, and welcome to my guide for Lux, the Lady of Luminosity. Lux is a special mage in the way that she has extremely long range that's compared to other shorter mages. She will be forced to stay at the back of the teamfight and deal damage that way. Lux's passive is Illumination, whereas if she damages an enemy with any ability, then they'll get marked with Illumination. Basic attacks and Final Spark will consume the mark. A few patches back, this actually got a really nice buff in the way that it also scales with level. So at level 18, Lux will expect an excellent 144 damage base on her passive. Use this to constantly CS and harass your opponent if they get too close. Next up is Lux's strongest level 1 ability, Light Binding. Light Binding sets out this little ball of light which can hit two people. If it hits the first person, it snares them and then does magic damage. It can also hit a second person, but this second person only gets snared for 1 second and also gets half the damage of the first person. The primary use of this is to lock down anyone that is chasing or trying to escape from Lux. This is also a really strong level 1 ability like I said before, and has really good synergy with level 1 ganks. So if your bestest buddy is with your jungler, or he's pretty good at jungling, then you can just use Light Binding and then you'll get a really lucky early kill. What's also extremely important to know is that a root is not a stun. These people, while they're stuck, they cannot move or blink or try to flash or anything like that, but they can still attack you, and they can attack allies too. This ability has phenomenal scaling, dealing with 70% scaling with AP, but you'd want to max this all the way from level 13, since the snare does not go up, it always stays at 2 and 1. However, people will always try to dodge Light Binding, and I've always been in a situation where they got stuck in a Light Binding and cried hysterically for 20 minutes, just like me. But anyway, the best way to hit this would either be chasing someone that's running next to a wall, so they can't dodge right, so you aim it a little bit to the left, and you should get it. It's hard to hit on targets that can move very fast or dodge any of your things, but it's very, very, very high reward. You'll find that there's a lot of people that want to wed you for saving their lives. Lux's W, Prismatic Barrier, throws out her wand forward and back. Every time someone's hit by that wand, they'll get a shield, but the shield will not stack. So if you shield someone for 50, they'll always be shield for 50, not 100. As you get hit by both portions of the shield, you're still going to only get shielded once, but it does reapply itself. Person in this game, you'd want to use it to keep people healthy and just to keep them not dying. That's pretty much the optimal place you want them to be. Overestimated. Since people with more damage over, let's say the space of 30 seconds, will always think that your shield only has one portion of it, they'll blow all of their stuff on you, but hey, the second part of the shield just came up. You'd want to take an early point in this if you're against a lane, if you're against a laner, kind of like Yasuo, Zed, or LeBlanc, where they have extremely predictable poke, which hits very, very hard. Zed and his Shadow Shurikens, and Yasuo with his dash and Wazaki, just like LeBlanc with her Sigil of Malice and Distortion. If you time this properly, it's very useful, because it will actually block both portions of it. As part of this is that you can also punish people for thinking, even dreaming of hurting you, by also casting other abilities. In essence, when they're trying to hurt you as much as you can, you're just absorbing it and you're just laughing in real life, and you're just shoving a 14-inch aluminum torch up their behind. Trust me, you'll be amazed by the amount of just ridiculous stuff that you and your allies can get away with this. Ultimately, you want to just hit everyone on your enemy team with this, even if they're really squishy. Tanks will benefit most from this. This E, Lucent Singularity, is a spell that you would want to get used to very, very fast. Throws out this bomb-like piece of light which sticks to an area. She can activate this to deal damage, or she can leave it for a slow, and this is a really, really nice slow as well. Since this skill has an extremely long range, you can use it for so many things. You can use it to poke someone with a shorter range than you, like Swain, Cassio, and Malzahar. You can use it to keep melee champions away from you, and you can also use it to get melee people away from stuff like CS. If you get that and then put it next to the Cassio minions, or next to one of your allied minions who are just about to die, they would probably want to go over to that one of your allied minions and try get the gold from that. Then again, your Lux, and that's classified as having fun, so you're not allowed to have fun in a Lux lane, so you can just throw out the Lux and Singularity and they'll be too scared to even try and get that CS. Later on, it's also going to have a really short cooldown, so you can use it to like check brushes to make sure there's no assassins or anything waiting for you on the other side. Probably one of the best ways to put her passive on multiple enemies before lasering them. This is a really, really strong spell. There's a reason why everyone should fear Lux. Even Luxes in bot games. This is why you should fear Lux. Probably one of the most iconic abilities in the game. It's just godlike. Channels for a half a second, and then she just breaks the heavens. She just, boom, she just shoots out this giant laser which does damage to everyone. Fortunate enough to actually stay in her laser that long, able to see where the laser is going to be shot, so they'll probably be able to like flash or something out of her way before they can actually take any damage from it. And what also puts a cherry on this oh god please no cake is that this will actually do damage from your passive as well. Meaning that on top of the damage that it already does, if the person is hit with illumination, it will actually do your passive damage to him as well on top of your ultimate damage. Also, what puts this oh god please no cherry on top of the oh god please no cake on top of cherry on top of the oh god please no cake, but if that makes sense, this also reapplies your passive, so if you don't die from your ult Q, then you just auto attack him again. That would probably kill them twice. Typical combo is to either hit the target with Q or E, then directly followed by your ultimate. This will ensure that they take damage from the Q, they'll take damage from the ult and the passive, so that's like too much damage. On top of that, if they don't die, you still have your Q or your E up based on what you use first, and that will definitely kill them with a few auto attacks. I don't want to use the oh god please no cake example again, but this also has around a 30-second cooldown at level 16 with 40% cooldown reduction. So you can use it like anywhere, in any style that you like. I just want to take this time to just talk about the stunner spell Teleport. You can take Barrier, Clarity, Ignite, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're good at using the spells. But anyway, in my opinion, I really like using Teleport on Lux, since the way that she can actually go back to lane really quickly and probably just get ahead with all the CS anyway. But if you can actually teleport to lane and probably snipe someone that's like out of place or anywhere, you can like, teleport to Dragon, try help, teleport bottom lane if the jungler is there and if he's attacking. And also, you just really just overall just get away with some ridiculous stuff. Like, I don't know how many times I've teleported somewhere and then just, ulted and got like so many kills from that. Once you get used to it, you'll realize that your place is really just behind everyone else, even behind the AD carry, just like shooting out your E's, shooting out your Q's, trying to protect everyone and try and not get everyone killed. A day where Riot actually added assassins to the game, which makes Lux's job extremely hard sometimes. The place to hide is normally, the boundaries of where the baby elephant steps away from its mother, and or, cakes. We're going to move on to mastery pages. The one on the top left, Bursy Tonkin, that's the one that I use the most, since it's defensively a bit, but also goes a lot into offense. I'm not really defensive, since I actually put in all my fate into my kit to keep me safe during the early and late game. To just healing over the lane and just coming through like mana regeneration, then Lux or special sexy sun side will be probably better for you. No matter how many Wazakis or shurikens or sigil analysis are thrown at you, you can just, at the end of the day, just eat a biscuit and then just be absolutely fine about it. We're taking cooldown reduction. I've taken cooldown reduction in all these rune pages, and they're usually, wasted by the end of the game. We'll explain that later. Rune pages, the one on the top left, AP 1 star, doesn't actually exist. That one is what I started with from all of my AP casters. It's usually just, magic resist at level 18, glimpse, armor seals, magic penetration marks, and ability power quints. That sets standard of all my rune pages for a very, very long time. but the one on the bottom left, AP1, is probably one of the most greediest rune pages that I've probably ever made. Again, it's magic penetration marks, mana regeneration seals, then it's just ability power glimpse, and also quints. But all my stuff, but sometimes I find that I still actually spend a lot of mana and stuff like this. Obviously the mana regen stuff is just going to become extremely useless, and probably the armor in that set will actually help better. But as long as you get fiends and stuff like that, we'll be talking about all this later. You probably shouldn't be actually having those many problems with mana. If you have problems early game with mana, it's completely normal. That's what it's like for all the long range ranges. Anyway, these are the items that I prefer to play on looks. Usually I just go with 4 items. I don't go any particular order. I don't really see any damage difference or anything like that. First off, I try to get the teams as easily and as quickly as I can during the game. It gives me 20% color reduction, and it gives me so much mana, and it also gives me loads of mana regen. Usually this is just a no-brainer on looks, and most casters as well. What I'm doing, I'll usually finish the teams after I actually get sorcerer shoes, so I'd actually be stuck with tier 1 boots but still have a fiend, so that's normally all I need. Shoes, usually with the magic penetration marks and some magic pen and masteries, you'll probably end up actually doing a lot of damage early game, and most of the magic damage is going to go straight through it. It's usually a question between either Rabnon's Death Cap or Void Staff. In my opinion, I do not see like any difference in like damage or any like survivability between picking these two. Usually I'd go Void Staff literally just because it was cheaper, and just so I could just get it out of my head very, very quickly. These few items are completely optional. This is my opinion with these items. Lynchbane, you'd really want to build that if you actually find yourself auto-attacking a lot, and it's also really good addition to your auto-attacks and your passive as well. Morello's, or Morellonomicon, it gives you that other 20% after the fiends, but if you have any more cooldown reduction, or anything like that, after you have actually through your masteries or fiends, usually it's a waste buying it. Leandries is really fun to play in my opinion, because you actually do AoE damage, and normally people don't survive your lasers if they go away with like 50 HP or stuff. There's still the burn afterwards. So magic penetration and health for the win. Usually I just ignore the mastery color reduction, and I always just say to myself that I'm only wasting like 5 or whatever. But anyway, usually I build that, but if you want to have fun or if you want to try something different, then Lynchbane and Leandries is more down your alley. This you'll probably have one more space for probably another offensive or defensive item. If you feel lucky, you should probably just go for another offensive item, but if you find yourself lacking in survivability, then usually you just want to go for one of these defensive items. You should get Banshee's Veil if someone's like a one-trick pony like LeBlanc, where she has to start a combo with her Q, then her R, then her W to actually one-shot someone, but if you block that Q successfully, you're cutting off about half of her damage. Zonia's someone who has like a predictable kind of like insta-death, kind of like Zed. Like if he puts death mark on you and then starts mauling you, then you know that mark's gonna go off, and he's probably like, cool guys don't look at explosions or some kind of that. You can just like activate Zonia's and make sure he doesn't kill you. This angel doesn't really need that much of explaining. If you die, you'll come back alive, and it also gives you a lot of armor and magic resist. It's kind of a good in-between item. I'm not saying any of these items that I'm going to show from this pool aren't good item looks, but you know, there's better items out there. Think of this as like a quick fighting round, if you may. First one there, Rylai's Crystal Scepter. It'll give you a lot of like health and probably loads of utility, but Lux has no single target spells. Not even her passive procs to full slow on Rylai's. All of her abilities, even her passive, will proc only a fraction of her slow on Rylai's. But nice mana regeneration, nice mana, nice shield. It consumes the mana as well to make the shield, which is kind of cool as well, and also scales, the shield scales on mana as well, but this lacks cooldown reduction, so it's less than optimal. Personally, the way that I play Lux, I don't really build Medjai's Soul Stealer, since the way is that my early game is just focused on, you know, farming, trying to get my fiends early on, I don't like actually harass that much unless it's an assassin. Even then, I just harass to get them out of the lane and try not to get them to hurt me. And I rarely get kills early game. It's a late game where I aim for footbears, the boots of the city. These give so much cooldown reduction, and it's really cheap as well, 15%. But in my opinion, if you're going to build a Fiends, you'll get 15 from this, 20 from Fiends, and then 5 from the mastery pages. You'll get 40 really easily there. But any other cooldown reduction that you get from any other item that looks will probably need, you're kind of like denying yourself of it. Look at these 3 beauties here. Abyssal Scepter. If you find yourself being close all the time and you need magic resist, I've never found a good excuse to actually build Abyssal Scepter. So I actually stray away from it. Rod of Ages. Again, you'd want to get this in optimal time, which is the early game. By then, I'm actually probably wasting gold on Fiends. Rather than, if I had a choice between either like 3 Rod of Ages or like 1 Fiends, I'd probably just choose the Fiends. And the last one there is the most recent item to the Rift. It's Luden's Echo, I think it is. Anyway, this gives flat AP and then also gives this insane passive as well. But to be honest, even though this gives flat AP, the thing is, it only really scales nicely with people that actually move around a lot. And I don't know, you know, if you already have a lot of AP and you really do not need that defensive item, or you could probably pass on Morello and Nomicon, then I'll probably go for Ludens if you actually find yourself probably like missing a couple of abilities and you still want to get some damage in with like your E or ultimate A, and the matter that is Lux. To be honest, I have all the faith in the world. If you want to learn how to play Lux and you actually honestly want to get good at her and you legitimately find her fun, then I have all the faith in the world, and you should too, about playing Lux. To be honest, yeah, if you want to learn, then you will learn. Honestly, you'll do great. I think you'll do great. But if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask me in the comments, and I'll probably respond as fast as I can. Hey everybody, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to enjoy my videos, and I'd like to thank my subscribers for always liking and commenting my videos. Even if the comments are good or bad, I always look at them. Some of them all give me the morality to just keep doing YouTube and just make me just feel like I'm building a community around all this. Anyway, if you guys want to see more of my videos, make sure to subscribe for just a regular dose of me. But anyway guys, I'll see you.